You are good.
It's a lawyer show, and welcome to the penultimate place to get your Marvel news, our MCU reviews, and fireside chats on all things Marvel. This is episode 55 of the Marvel Mondays Initiative, and today's topic is a review of She-Hulk Episode 1, Attorney at Law, in case you forgot. If you're listening on your favorite podcast service, feel free to give us a good rating on that platform. It helps those algorithms and helps us grow our audience. It also shows up on other people's feeds. Maybe they check us out. Maybe they like us. They subscribe. You see where I'm getting at? Anyway, if you're watching on YouTube, consider dropping a like and a sub. And don't forget to hit the bell to get notifications for when we go live with all our shows like the Penultimate Games Show. Shout out PSVR 2. The Cross Media Show. Shout out Game of Thrones, ? And Anime Nation. Shout out Chainsaw Man.
Ooh,
Very
good
soon.
one.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Christian Macias, your curator of cinema and host for the evening, your local Portland Tinder sad boy. Alongside me today, actually no, Eric is gone. He has died. But he'll be back.
Again?
Just like
He
just
died
like
and he
Jesus.
will be back. Wow.
Just like
Like
Jesus.
So, rounding out the war table, of course, as always, our one and only director of operations, Ben Guerrero.
What's fucking good, guys? Sorry, Eric,
How-
for R.I.P. Eric.
How's the
Christian?
summer of Ben going?
The summer of Ben is me working hard, man. I got a second job to, get
Oh.
some extra income as a gas attendant. This probably should have been my first job because it's not hard at all. I made like $30 within 17 hours, like just tips, which is pretty good.
$30 in 17 hours? I don't know. What?
In tips. So like
Okay,
I get paid $15 an hour. But
Oh,
like,
okay.
people, you pump gas because New Jerseyans don't know how to pump gas. It's a weird thing.
Oh, this is yes, but now I
Yeah,
get what you mean
yeah,
by
yeah,
gas
yeah.
attendant.
Yes.
You're not okay. That's a good question. Are you supposed to tip your gas attendants? I would say no.
Well, for my argument, I would say yes.
Yeah, because you want the tips. But
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know?
I've
people
never
don't do
been-
that in Oregon.
Well, yeah, but you also you can pump your own gas in Oregon, no?
I mean, it depends on the county, but most counties there's an attendant.
Huh.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Ro, any thoughts?
Yeah.
Questions, concerns?
I mean, I feel like you should just get paid the right amount. But
I mean,
if you're
yeah.
not, then sure, tip away.
In a utopian society,
Yeah.
yes, I'd be,
Yeah.
you know?
But yeah,
not-
we don't have any.
gas attendants?
Yeah, I haven't seen one like since I lived in Trinidad, and I was 6 when I lived in Trinidad. But here in Canada, no. It's wild.
That other sexy ass voice you're hearing, formerly from Trinidad and now in Canada, is my co-host of podcast PXN, the Nintendo aficionado, the president of the Tifa Lockhart fan club, Roshan. Roro at Roro.
Hello, hello. Cap, is he a virgin? Is he not?
I mean,
Stay tuned to find
apparently
out.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Man, that's America's virginity. Anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's look at some housekeeping we've got going on for today before we start our topic of the show. This week, we are stepping into the bracket game. That's right. Competition awaits on the Penultimate Conquest on this week's episode of the Penultimate Games Show. We're doing I can't read the rest. It's covering the best video game series bracket.
Look
What
at
will
that.
win? The Legend. What's up?
He got so upset, he just
left?
to fucking leave. He's like, these motherfuckers stole my idea. You know?
I mean, to be fair, I took it from Kind of Funny.
I mean,
so.
to be fair, nobody really needs to know that, you know?
Oh, we all took it from, I guess,
Fantasy football, you know?
or basketball. Who
There you
invented
go.
brackets?
That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
We'll
Who
never know.
invented brackets? I would say math invented brackets. Pythagoras himself.
Anyway, so check that out check it out when we do the Ultimate Game Show and come help us decide what is the best video game series of all time. Additionally, House of Dragons just premiered this weekend on HBO, so we are deep diving into the new Game of Thrones spin-off House of Dragon for this week's episode of the Cross Media Show. Let us know what you think. Did anyone, Ruben? I think you watched this, didn't you?
I haven't watched it yet. Richie
No.
watched it. He said it was really, really good. And I
Are
heard
you
a
planning
lot
on
of
watching
people-
it?
I am planning on watching it. Yeah, just because Matt
Okay.
Smith, you know.
Matt Smith is in it?
Yeah, man.
Oh, I didn't know.
You know, he was so far out of the Morbius marketing. Like, he's like, I can't fucking stay in here. You know, like I'm done. It's no longer Morbin time. It's time for fucking with dragons.
My favorite part about Morbius, and I haven't seen it by the way, is when that clip of Matt Smith dancing in the movie. Like, it sounds like they're saying have sex.
You see,
It's so good.
I didn't know that there was a scene of him dancing in this movie, and you know what? I'm really glad I didn't watch it.
Have sex. Anyway, Ro, have you been on the show before?
I have, yes. Are we
Okay.
doing those rapid fires questions?
No.
No, okay.
You don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get them.
You've already been here more than once. You don't need rapid fire questions.
Dang it.
No, I'm kidding. I think you were here for when we were talking about the Captain Marvel finale, if I remember correctly.
Miss Marvel finale.
Miss Marvel finale?
What did I say? I said Captain Marvel, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah, Miss Marvel. Thank you.
Something is better than Captain.
God, I don't remember. I definitely came on for one of the episodes. I don't think it was the finale though. Yeah.
No.
No, I think the finale was just me, Christian, and Eric, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong about that. I think it was just you and me, Christian.
That was just, yeah, I think about just you and me.
I think I was here for episode 2 or 3. I'm not sure.
But I do want an icebreaker. I just want to hear, like, did you enjoy Miss Marvel? I think you were high on that. Just want your
Yeah.
overall thoughts on MCU TV in general right now.
Yeah, MC TV in general, I think Miss Marvel is my favorite so far. All of the MCU TV shows never really end in a place that I'm satisfied yet. For the exception of Loki, I liked Loki's ending,
My man.
but everyone else's, I was like, this is not where I was expecting this to go. I'm not really satisfied with the ending, but overall, I think it's okay at this point. I think we're getting a lot of Marvel stuff, and it's starting to show that they need to be up to par with the amount of stuff that they're putting out, because we're getting a little bit fatigued with the amount of stuff that we're getting out, and we're just getting the same thing over and over. It gets a little tiring, but I guess we'll talk about how we enjoy She-Hulk. But Miss Marvel, loved it. I didn't like how it ended, but I liked it a lot.
For sure. All right. And I think most people are in the same boat as you, bro. So I think it's a pretty base take, in my opinion. Okay. We got a couple of Marvel news here before we actually begin topic of the show. We're going to start with the biggest item, I would say, in terms of, quote unquote hype. A new promo trailer for Spider-Man's No Way Home extended cut has been officially released. We also got a new poster, and that is actually coming back to cinema. So if you are fiending to see Spider-Man No Way Home on the big screen again, you can do so with, I think, 12 minutes of additional footage. What that 12 minutes will be, who knows? Nevertheless, you can do so if you're excited if you're so inclined. Oh, yeah. Yes, Ruben. Ben.
Yeah, I just want to say there's a lot of people hating on No Way Home now that it's been out and they've seen it. Fuck you guys. This was probably the greatest Spider-Man movie we've ever gotten. And Dan is asking, how do we get Morbius back on the big screen? Just email your local Sony rep, Tell them, hey, you were busy that weekend and you need to watch it. You
Oh
can't
my God.
wait.
Dude, that was so funny when they came back with another, with one of those petition things, the change.org. We were
Yeah.
just busy that weekend.
Please do it again.
Incredible.
Yeah. But yeah, stop hating on what is probably the greatest Spider-Man movie we'll ever get.
That's an opinion.
Yeah, I love that movie so much. You telling me that people are hating on it, I don't know how that is possible.
I've
Is the
seen a
greatest
lot of
Spider-Man movie?
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, that's crazy. I can't believe people are upset about that.
Christian, I know you're
To
upset.
get more of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I
listen,
can't. Hold on. Hold on.
Hold on. I know you're upset because my theory didn't pan out, but it's okay. We got something better.
That's funny.
We got something better.
For the record, I think both things can be true. I think you can enjoy Spider-Man No Way Home and then clown it at the same time. I gave Spider-Man No Way Home 4.5 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd.
So how can you clown it
The high rating. Both things can be true.
No,
Both things can be
I
true.
don't believe that to
I
be
think
true.
so. I clown on Sonic all the time, and I love it. You know,
Speaking of things
think
I
it's
Bro,
love,
I
fair.
don't know if you know this is a sore subject. You shouldn't be bringing up Sonic when me and Christian are in the same group
Okay.
chat.
Why? I love
Pretend I didn't
Sonic.
say anything.
Sonic
Pretend I
2?
didn't say anything.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2,
Oh,
the
I
movie?
fucking hate that movie. Still the worst movie I've seen this year.
That's impossible. That's impossible.
Anyway,
You should see Morbius
I should. I have
when
to
it
watch
comes
Venom
back
1
in
and 2 first.
theaters.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of things I love, Chloe Zhao is one of those things. What did Chloe Zhao do in the MCU, you ask? Eternals. Remember that movie? I do. Fucking banger movie. Anyway, Eternals 2 is seemingly confirmed to be in development. So when will it release? I'm reading from the MCU Direct. Who knows? But at least we know it's actually coming. Supposedly. Are you excited for Eternals 2? Ro.
Yes, I am. I am excited for it. I don't think I was on as high on it when I first watched it, but I rewatched it a little while after I watched it the first time. I was like, this is pretty good. I actually like this. It's a lot different. And as we were talking about at the beginning of the show, we keep getting the same movies a lot, doing this formulaic MCU thing, and this one kind of strayed away from that. And I got to respect it for that. And I liked it a lot more in my second viewing. And I want to see what's his face. What's the character that showed up at the end? The actor's name.
Mahershala Ali.
No.
Not Blade.
no,
the
no.
the
He's talking
Harry
about,
Styles' character.
Yeah. Thanos'
Yeah.
Oh.
brother.
I want to see Blade though. That I completely forgot
Yeah,
about
for
that,
sure.
actually.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I want
We
to
didn't
see
really
what.
see Blade, that's why.
Yeah, we heard him, but yeah,
What the hell is
yeah.
his name? Star Fox is his like one of his alter egos, whatever.
Star
even
Fox?
better. Yeah.
Yeah, Harry
64?
Styles' character. No.
Oh.
However, Harry Styles did come out today and say he's taking a break from acting. So
What
I didn't
did
know he
Harry
was
Styles
acting before.
Yeah, exactly. What else did he pop up in that
he's
wasn't
the
this?
star. He's the star of Don't Worry, Darling. Him and Florence Pugh.
True.
I'm
True.
sorry. I feel like you just made that up.
No, it's in black and white too, isn't it? Oh no, that's a different movie.
No.
I'm thinking about a completely
That's
different
Oppenheimer.
movie. Yep. Thinking about the Dune guy.
Oppenheimer, I can't fucking wait, Christian.
That is the Denis Villeneuve movie, Dune guy, and that is Christopher Nolan who's doing Oppenheimer.
I don't know
Who
anything.
might be the greatest actor of all time. I'm just
My
saying.
God, let
God,
me
Neither
search
here
this
nor
up.
there. It's neither here nor there. Anyway, Christian, I have one Marvel theory that's been popped up on the TikToks. I don't know if you want me to put it in here.
You just
as
say
some
it. Tell me.
Marvel news. So
Do it
apparently,
right now.
Marvel is circling on one director for the Fantastic Four movie. And
Brad
that-
Bird. Who?
Unfortunately, it's not Brad Bird. I'm sorry.
Oh, I got so excited.
And that man is Matt Shackman, the man who directed WandaVision, if I remember correctly. I'm looking at it now, and it just says that he was the director. So yeah,
Shatman or Shackman?
Shackman.
Sandman. Adam Sandler.
So he has directed The Great, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Fargo, and Game of Thrones, and also WandaVision.
Star Trek 4.
I don't know about Star Trek 4.
That movie's coming next year. That's a thing.
Yeah, man. People were very excited about it.
Did he do? I don't see WandaVision here on Matt Shackman's.
I mean,
IMDb.
I'm pretty sure. Listen, man, I see it here on the wiki. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, WandaVision television.
There you go. So, who knows?
Hmm.
Who knows?
Well, I don't know how I feel about this. To be honest, if that's true, and I know this is just a rumor, but
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of hope the writing is good. I don't know.
let's hope.
I would prefer Brad Bird
Me too.
I think everybody would
or
prefer
Steven
that.
Spielberg,
Steven Spielberg. Wow.
which was the original who they were trying to get to
Really?
do this. Yeah.
I don't know if I would want that. Like, no disrespect to Steven Spielberg. I love
Sounds like a disrespectful.
everything he's probably done besides that last movie he made. That was a musical.
West Side Story.
Oh, I did not like West Side Story either. Yeah.
So I just feel like, give
Mhm.
it to somebody who's done a family movie.
Spielberg, that's all he does, family movies.
Yeah, but like, I
Most of
mean,
it.
a movie based on a family, you know?
E.T. Found Family. Anyway. Let's get into our topic of the show. She-Hulk attorney at law. Actually, this actually ties into some news as well. I want to bring this in. Star of She-Hulk, Tatiana Maslany, originally tried out for a previous role in the MCU. Now I'm blanking. I had it open, and now I don't.
Let me check.
Oh no! Oh no! Anyway, it'll come back to me later. So I'll skip this part, and I'll ask instead, the premiere of She-Hulk, how did it go for you, Ben?
Oh man,
General thoughts.
it was a really, really good first episode. Let's just say that. You know, we had some funny moments, we had some serious moments. We skipped over the whole part where we have to tell the origin story of She-Hulk because we've already seen it with the Hulk. Yeah, I thought it was great.
Did we skip over the whole thing, or did we get just the right
A
amount?
truncate. We got a truncated.
Truncated.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
sure.
wasn't 45 minutes of like, oh shit, what's her powers? You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Although we had that one moment where everybody's talking about it, it seems, where we get the Hulk trying to be young and hip and say that word that I will never.
We'll get
say.
to that. We'll get to that. Ro, general thoughts on She-Hulk. Did you enjoy the first episode?
I did. I thought it was nice. I liked it. What Ruben's talking about with the explanation stuff, I'm glad that it was quick, but it was enough. Like, it wasn't too much that we're bored with it, and it wasn't too little that it didn't make sense. It was enough for us to get moving with the story. I have some thoughts about the fourth wall breaking stuff, but most of it I liked. But yeah, I think I agree with Ruben. I think it was a good first episode, and of course we'll dive deeper into it. But, yeah.
Christian, I
Yes,
have
Ben.
your role that she.
You found it.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. What was it? Thank you. Tell me.
Yes, so I'm gonna just give you the whole thing. She recently appeared on Scott Ackerman's Comedy Bang Bang podcast. If you don't listen to Comedy Bang Bang, what the fuck are you doing? And recently, and revealed that she had been rejected by Marvel multiple times. The specific example she mentioned wasn't even an audition for the MCU, but for Venom, one of Sony's Marvel properties.
That's what it was.
Where
Yes.
she had asked which role she tried out for. She said not Venom, unfortunately, but Venom's girlfriend or whatever. And you know what?
Yeah.
I'm really glad that she did not have any part of this movie. Because if you haven't seen Tatiana Maslany acting in Orphan Black, oh my god, putting her in the same movie as fucking the shit show that is Tom Hardy. Ugh, no, I don't know.
I have a buddy at the gym who told me actually about Orphan Black. And he gave high praise to Tatiana Maslany, saying she was a great actress in that. So She-Hulk is the first thing I'm seeing her in, and she's good in this. For me, I'm not gonna lie to you, Ruben. I was prepared to hate this show.
Okay.
I've realized that I've been an MCU hater, for better or for worse, and I'm trying to do better.
Listen,
But I still, what?
they give you a little bit of a good reason to be an MCU hater with these MCU
Yeah,
TV
I know.
shows.
But I shouldn't be a hater, right? I should just like take everything as. Anyway, I've had a lot of issues with the way Marvel has rolled out their content. So I was like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about She-Hulk. And then Rose said, like, you know what? I enjoyed it, and I was like, you know what? Here's an opportunity for me to go into a show again. 'Cause I'm doing a podcast. Just be open-minded, see how I come out after the fact, and try not to have any preconceived notions about the show beforehand. And to my surprise, I actually really enjoyed it. There's a lot of there's a lot of strong points in this. I think it's a good first start. There's obviously going to be some criticisms from me. Not everything is perfect. She-Hulk isn't perfect, but I think what's there is for the most part pretty good, and I actually enjoyed myself. I think what they're going for in terms of like structure and like the lighthearted tone. On paper, I was making fun of it, and yet, like when it's actually happening, like no, actually, this is good. I'm really enjoying this. So let's jump into some more specifics. Ro, you mentioned the fourth wall breaks. This is a thing that is going to happen in the show. inspired by Fleabag. Is it as good as Fleabag?
So far, no. I don't. That's such a high bar to meet. I think that I'm blanking on the actress's name now, but she just has that type of timing and
Mm.
look that like is just so good when she's looking at the camera, all that kind of stuff. Not to say that Tatiana doesn't have that. It's just that I think she did a fantastic job in Fleabag. But what I've gotten so far is it's good, and we only got like maybe 3 of them. One at the beginning, one in the middle, and one at the very end. So that it didn't happen so much, and I was like, oh my god, here we go again. It was just
Mm.
enough that I was like, okay, this is a funny thing that they're doing. Hopefully, it doesn't overstay its welcome, and it didn't. Some of the lines were a bit cheesy at the especially at the end, but for the most part, it worked for me. And when she was like, especially well, we'll talk about it later, but there's the one in the middle worked for me, and the one at the beginning worked for me. The one at the end was like a little meh. It's like, okay, you can stop it now. But yeah,
I don't even remember the one at the end. I remember the one in the beginning and the one in the middle. But
Exactly.
I can't remember the one at the end.
it was her kind of just summarizing everything. It's like, all right, now that you're caught up, let's get back to the lawyer show. And then she went back out, and then it ended. It was like, do you not
Oh,
remember? Yeah.
okay.
It was like the
I-
little wrap up at the end.
I almost didn't like that, but then there's a moment where like she whispers "lawyer show" and
Yeah.
the door
That-
closes, and I'm like, okay, but
You
like
got
this
it
is
back.
consistent with the tone. I'm like, okay, I didn't mind it.
Okay.
Yeah. How about you, Ruben? Are you liking the fourth wall breaks?
I am. I was kind of really hoping that we didn't get like, and back to the lawyer show up until, I guess it's kind of up until she's finished giving the, like previously on, like what happened in the past.
Hmm.
Like I was hoping that they finished all the way up to, and here we are now, and back to the lawyer show, and then we see whatever else happens. But so far it hasn't been too much. I know a lot of people are comparing it to Deadpool's fourth wall breaking, where
Mm.
Deadpool does it like every 2 minutes, and it's fun, but like at the same time, it's kind of exhausting. I hope that they continue to, you know, not do too much because that would kind of like bring the show down a little bit for me. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good so far.
Mhm.
What about you, Christian?
Well, thank you for asking.
No problem.
Yeah, like it hasn't been like they haven't knocked it out of the park for me. Like the one in the middle specifically, and we'll get to. Well, I guess we'll just say it now. There's a moment where like her and Bruce are like rebuilding this bar. We'll get to the bar. I have thoughts on this. But they're rebuilding this bar, and like they're having like some kind of like emotional spat after. I think it was after the fight scene. Anyway,
Yeah.
and she looks at the camera and says, "He always does this." And then like he turns around and like looks at her, and she pretends to go back to work, and then she looks back at the camera and like that one I think worked for me because it's self-aware enough and it's like short enough that like it works and it's consistent with like the tone that they're going for at this very part of the scene.
Mhm.
I thought it was good. The other ones like haven't been as strong, but like
Right.
whatever. It's the first episode.
I do want to interject and say we finally get two things. One, we see Hulk's arm being regenerated due to the blood from Tatiana Maslany, which is pretty funny. And two, we finally understand why at the end of Shang-Chi we see Bruce Banner instead of Professor Hulk. Because of the fucking inhibitor, you know?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I forgot Bruce at the end of. Is he at the end of?
He is. He's Bruce Banner. He's not Smart Hulk.
I thought it was Wong that shows up.
It's Wong, and then he and Bruce Banner and Captain Marvel show up as holograms.
Oh, it's holograms, right?
Yeah,
right.
because they're talking about
okay.
the
Yes,
message coming from the.
I remember this now. Yes, thank you.
Mhm.
I have thoughts on the blood of Tatiana Maslany, but more on that later. What an ominous note that is. Anyway, let's talk about the backstory a little bit. It starts with I wanted to get her actual name. I don't want to keep calling her Tatiana.
Jessica Walters.
There's the name of the show.
Not Jessica
Oh, Jen.
Walters.
Jennifer. Jen.
Walters.
Yeah.
It starts with Jen preparing for a case. Hell yeah, very cool. Also, the
Very
side
nice.
character, her friend is
Nikki.
cool. Nice supporting actress, Nikki. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then it goes into like what is the most of the rest of the episode, like actual backstory of her before she turns into Hulk, and then like the aftermath of her turning into it. I have to stop here to say this is the beginning of one run-on joke that happens twice in this episode, which is Captain America being a virgin.
Yeah, can't forget that.
Okay, this is a perfect part for me to bring up. I like the lighthearted tone. There are a few attempts at comedy that I did not like.
Okay.
Captain America virgin thing is fine. I think that's okay. I didn't laugh once during the show, but like whatever. That's just me.
You're just a
That's
monster.
me being me. Yeah. The other being when they're having like a burping contest was like, sure.
It's like
And
fart
then-
jokes.
Yeah. Well, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
And the other is one a video that Rose sent that I can hear it in my mind. It's a 1-second clip of Bruce Banner, Smart Hulk saying "bruh," and I can't, dude. I'm sorry, I can't.
Hate it. I hate it, Christian.
Oh, it's
As-
funny. It is weird, but it like also, and not that it was better in the other movie, but him in Infinity War when he was trying to be cool to those kids, it just like screams that
Dude.
that type of personality. But it's still weird. It's still weird, but it's just like I like that they're consistent with the stupidness.
Yeah. The thing about like writing is that things take so long to actually get made that by the time they come out, things are irrelevant.
Mhm.
Like that's why Sonic flossing feels like it's ripped out of 2016 because like that thing was written so long ago. And like the Captain America being a virgin thing, I feel like this is a conversation like that was probably going online like 2 years ago or a year ago, and that is
I just
Go
want to say it is kind of a great parallel to Endgame's that is America's ass. Like it works for me, and I'm okay with Captain America being a virgin? Question mark. I'm okay with this. I am not okay with Hulk just out of nowhere just saying bruh. Like it doesn't
it
even
just doesn't work.
it doesn't work, and it doesn't even line up to who the character is.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Millennials be like,
Oh shit. I'm sorry. I just got an email that I've been expecting for a while now, Christian.
Oh.
do your thing. Me and Ro will talk about something else that I have an
No,
issue
I
with.
want you to listen to this.
Oh, okay.
Movie
Listen.
Pass relaunch announcement.
I will not be part of it.
Ah, that's unfortunate.
They have a $10, a $20, and a $30 SKU for Movie Pass.
okay.
But they seem a little scheming. That's a conversation for a different time.
Yeah. Sorry.
There's one moment in She-Hulk that I like, but I also have problems with. There's a moment where them two are doing their kind of Zen therapy thing, where Bruce is kind of testing out to see if Jen can control her emotions. And she has like what I would call an outburst, even though it's not really an outburst, but it's like her saying like, "Let me explain to you that being a woman is infinitely harder than being a man when like you have to traverse the world in a specific way just to survive it." And she's like talking not just like in terms of her job, but just in terms of like going about life as a woman. Like, and she even brings up the line like, "I have to keep my cool or I will be killed." Like that is a possibility. Women, like in the real world, women can't go on fucking runs at nighttime without fear of like something happening to them. First of all, I think it's incredible for She-Hulk to use this kind of platform to have this open discussions about being a woman in the real world. That is incredible. I love this. This is where the MCU is the strongest, I think, in a lot of ways, that they bring up these kinds of conversations. The only thing that was weird to me in this is that it's intercutting between shots of like Smart Hulk trying to look sympathetic, and it's just like this big CGI Bruce Banner, Mark Ruffalo, that like is very jarring and like creates dissonance with whatever, like with the actual message that's happening from Jen. That it feels both weird as strong as it is. I don't know. I just wanted to, if you guys had any thoughts on that scene.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a good scene as well. I was going to say something, but I lost it. But the Hulk going back and forth, switching back to Hulk, it was weird, a little jarring. The faces that he was making, it didn't even come off sympathetic to me. It just came like, yeah, okay, yeah, continue. But maybe I was just missing it. But that is a good trend that I am liking with the MCU TV shows that I hope they do continue doing, which is like with Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier talking about police brutality and race in America, and similarly with Miss Marvel, they did that with how brown people are portrayed in America, and now this with women. So I think that's a good thing that they're doing that should continue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that message was really good, and they had a couple of instances where like the offhanded comments that her male coworker would make at the beginning and at the end of the movie that women just have to deal with all the time. And her friend Nikki was just like rolling her eyes like, yeah, just do your thing. Don't listen to this chucklehead. And when at the bar, of course, there was the dudes like harassing her, just I guess trying to be nice, quote unquote nice. But yeah, that was another moment as well where they just kind of shined a light on what it's like to be a woman these days. And yeah, it's rough.
Can't even stand there without, oh, where are you going?
Yeah,
We're just being nice. Like, nah, dude.
Just waiting for my Uber, man.
Yeah.
My God.
Anyway, moving on to some more general stuff here. I have some questions on. There are two fights in this. Let's start with the first, because obviously we have to talk about the CGI. When reviews were dropping on the first few episodes of She-Hulk, critics were saying that the CGI is better than what we got in the trailers. Do you agree? Is the CGI better here? There's a spectacle of a fight scene here.
I'm okay with it. I wasn't expecting it to be, the best thing in the world, just because I know the difference between a Marvel movie's budget and an MCU TV show budget. So I get it. I also remember, if I remember correctly, there were a couple of people that do the visuals for Marvel saying that most of the money had to go to Hulk's CGI just because.
Insane.
Yeah.
Because it's his show.
Not because it's his show, but also
it's not his show. That's what I'm saying. It shouldn't have gone to him.
Yeah,
Should have gone to
but
She-Hulk.
I feel like they have to. It's somewhat of a requirement for. This is just me talking bullshit, but I feel like that's sort of a requirement coming from the Universal side. Like, if you're gonna use Hulk, you can't. Like, he can't look shittily, if that makes sense.
Can't look as bad as he did in our movie.
Yeah. There you go.
That Hulk is kind of raw.
Kind of gross, but yeah.
He is also kind of gross. Yeah.
I thought the CGI was good. I think it rivals that's a lot, but the most recent Marvel movies have been subject to criticism because of their VFX as well. So it's not exclusive to the Marvel TV shows that we're seeing this problem. Even like in the most recent Thor movie, we were complaining about the green screen and that random face that shows up during the middle of the movie. So I think they should maybe do it's Christian.
I'm happy you brought this up because I do think this looks better than Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have as much to deal with, the VFX artists, but yeah, what they are working with, the two Hulks, I think it looks better too.
Usually TV looks worse. MCU TV obviously is not going to look as good as the movies, but like never was there a point on my couch where I'm like, man, this looks bad. I like it was good enough for me to just like press on. So yeah.
Agreed.
Surprising. Yeah. However, there's one other fight scene that happens towards the end, and it's an introduction of, what's her name? Jamala?
Jamala.
Oh, Jamila Jamil. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jamila Jamil.
I don't know what character she plays, actually, so that's a poor job on my half.
So,
part.
It's weird. I'm sorry, Christian. Can I cut in here for a second?
Yeah, please.
It's weird because if I remember correctly, like, she's supposed to be the big bad for this TV show, which I feel like was a farce. Like, immediately she gets knocked down. Like, immediately. So I have, again, Christian, I'm going to fly off the rails a little bit here. I have a theory, First off, I want to say one thing and one thing only. Hulk lied straight to Jennifer's face when he said, yeah, we crashed into the ship that that approached us on the road. They didn't crash into it. She steered off of the road and immediately fell down in the ravine. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I feel like that ship is probably going to be very detrimental to the TV show.
I hope so.
I forgot about the ship. That's a good point. Yeah, I forgot that.
So
Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
Actually, I forgot about something else that I want to bring up too. Which how could I forget about the bar? The fight scene that like the bar is destroyed. And there's a context where like we find out that after Infinity War, before Endgame, which is nice, we get some like context between that 5-year gap. Bruce and Tony built this bar together down in Mexico, which it's just a nice moment. Like sometimes like I think most MCU fans kind of crave that like context surrounding the like main Avengers players. Like that's why they call Phase 4 mid, because it doesn't do that. I would disagree that with that Phase 4 is mid concept, but like it was nice to get like here's like a little snippet of like what these two characters are doing for X amount of time. Like I thought that was just like a sweet thing.
Yeah, I agree. Like when he was talking about Tony at the beginning, or not at the beginning, but when Jen came into the basement, and he was like, "Yeah, Tony gave me this," like Tony Stark, and it's like, "Oh, this is nice. I like this." And they went deeper into it with the bar stuff, but I like what they did with Bruce's character, where he's kind of forcing Jen to do all these things, but it's coming from a good place, but he's also just projecting, as she brings up later, just projecting everything that he's gone through all these years as a Hulk, and how many people he's hurt and how many people he hasn't been around. He's like, he doesn't want that for Jen, but at the same time he's like forcing her to do all these things that she doesn't have to do because she mastered being a Hulk within, I don't know, like a day, which I thought was really cool. And that I like that aspect of Bruce's character that they brought out, his trauma. I thought that was cool.
Can I just say, weirdos online who have issues with She-Hulk being stronger than the Hulk, I think have a lot more questions they need to answer about their own masculinity and not about the MCU's fictional characters. Anyway, let's move on to the end again. Jamil's character, Titania. There's a fight scene in the courtroom at the end where Jen is forced to go Hulk mode. And the style of fighting switches from what we originally got to something a lot more camp. There's like wire work that happens. It's quick, but it's very obviously like wire work. And there's like fast cuts. You don't see anything actually happen. It's like right where the amount of contact happens, it cuts, or what should happen, it cuts, and then it's like the other person is flying. How did you feel about the fight scene in the courtroom?
I would love to talk about the Jen versus Hulk one later as well, but after seeing that one and then getting that one at the end, it did feel a lot lesser. But obviously, this show is going for a different tone, like the comedy show, lawyer show that they're talking about. Maybe they're trying to focus on the lawyer aspect of all this, so maybe more fights won't even to that scale will even happen as often. But it was weird. Like there was one moment where Jamila got punched into a wall, and then like a table fell on her. And then the next cut, she was kicking. Like, when did she get out underneath this table? It was such a fast cut that she had no time to get out underneath this table, that it felt really jarring. But it was super short, so I guess there isn't much to even complain about, but I didn't like it as much as I enjoy the spectacle of the Hulk versus Jen fight.
It's weird because it feels campy, which is I think what they're going for, which makes sense. And like maybe, if it's the style they're trying to do, like could work. Yeah. But because we got another fight before that, it's like I can't tell if this just feels inconsistent, or I don't know.
If it was longer, maybe I would have liked it, but it was so short that I was like, it's just so fast. I don't know what's happening. Yeah.
Okay, well, did you have thoughts on you said you had thoughts on the Hulk fight as well?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys what you thought of it in general, because I liked the spectacle of it. I thought it was a cool fight, but it felt like it escalated so quickly from them. I understand that they were arguing about their different ideologies about being a Hulk and all that kind of stuff, and I can go back to your life and all that stuff, but I feel like the fight just came out of nowhere. I liked watching it, but it felt like they just did it for the sake of doing it, which I'm
1000%.
fine with because I like watching it. But it just felt like I could see right through this sort of thing.
For me, before Ruben goes, I 100% agree because I think for me, like the escalation to it, I thought was really good. Like she was giving Bruce a lot of harsh truths about his own insecurities. When like
Yeah.
again, the writing behind it, like when it's like not going from lighthearted when it's going to like here's some serious moments. Like it's good writing, but then you get to these actual fight scene. It's a prolonged scene, and they're like you can't tell if they're actually mad because they're also like being kind of chill about it at the same time. It just feels a little bit weird, and it feels like they're just doing it again. Yeah, just for this. It feels like there's always like one action scene that feels like forced in these Marvel shows because it's a Marvel property that they have to do action. But like I almost tuned out a little bit. Like I didn't really care. But then you did get to the ending where like they smash the bar and Hulk has to like is grounded again, and they start to repair the relationship, I guess. So that it ended up in a good place.
Yeah, that's true.
Any thoughts, Ruben?
Going back to the Jamila Jamil Titania versus She-Hulk. Would we really call that a fight? She punched her once and immediately she got knocked out.
That's fair. I don't know.
Like, yeah. So when you guys brought it up, I was like, "What? There was a fight at the end?" I don't really remember that. But the Hulk and the She-Hulk fight, I think it was kind of necessary, especially the way that they were going with the story, like how Hulk had a multi-year syllabus for her to follow through, and she's like, "What? No, I got a job to go back to. I can't be doing this shit." So I get it, and there's every right for Bruce to feel the way he's feeling because he was hunted down for God knows how long. So yeah, I get his side of the story, but also like she has mastered, like Rose said, she's mastered her Hulk form in one day. So
Incredible.
I feel like, what the fuck? I feel like it's been, like I don't really know what else to say. Like it was worth it, but at the same time, like did it really need to happen? No, but it gave me a little like hint of like, oh, something in the future is going to be happening between Hulk and She-Hulk.
We shall see. We shall see indeed. There are where the show is going, I don't know. Obviously we have Charlie Cox on the horizon as Daredevil, which
Sure.
I'm a little bit nervous about.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit just I don't know. I'll say that that's a different conversation. I think what we got in episode 1 I think is evidence enough that I think Daredevil in this show might still be okay. It kind of put my worries to rest a little bit. But I'm very curious to see what kind of hero She-Hulk will be. Obviously, the premise of the show is a little bit different than we got like Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel wants to be a hero. Jen does not, and that makes for an interesting premise, and it's going to make for even more interesting premise if she has to work on a case with Matt Murdock, and then turns out she has to nightlight as some kind of hero to do some street level hero work, and then work with Daredevil. I think that can make for an interesting dynamic if that does indeed happen. And I hope she stays more street level as, Titania. Who is that? I don't know. She seems like more street level. I hope that remains the case. But then there's also an alien spaceship. So what do I know?
I think it'll. My hope is, it does the same thing where she stays street level, but we have the galactic level aspects because of Bruce, and like he said, he's got to get down to the bottom of that Sakaran ship, and why I was there. Dan is in the chat, and he says he said this a while ago, but I'm going to read it anyway. I love how She-Hulk masters everything that Bruce struggled with for years. He was so mad about that. Yes, he was. He was very upset. He's like, "Am I jealous?" Yeah, it was really, really funny. And he goes, She-Hulk has absolutely mastered her power already. So what's going to happen to her? How is she going to become vulnerable? Well, Dan, it's a really great question. She just showed the world that she is a Hulk. In the so
Showed a courtroom.
yeah, she showed a courtroom, but like you know damn well everybody's gonna be tweeting about holy shit, there's another Hulk. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. So that's gonna happen. We saw from the trailer like she's gonna be getting a lot of publicity because she is a Hulk, and we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I think as we were talking about the street level stuff, I think her vulnerable side may not be in the superhero side of things, even though she is going to be doing stuff with Bruce. But they might double down or continue the trend of talking about women's issues, and she might have a lot to face with being this She-Hulk version of herself. There was a lot of dating stuff in the trailer, a lot of other issues that she might have to deal with, and adding on top of me also being a Hulk might add some interesting wrinkles in her social life. So maybe that's how they show her weaknesses, just the everyday sort of thing.
Yeah, we'll see.
All this to say, I enjoyed the first episode, and I think I'm on board to see how the rest shakes out. Hopefully they land, just like all the MCU shows. I hope they land it.
Fingers crossed.
So yeah,
Want to hear it?
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
Go for it. Sorry.
Want to hear a dumbass theory that I had?
Okay.
As soon as you introduce like blood in the MCU, I start thinking, I'm like, wouldn't it be just absolutely out of this world if Jen was a mutant, and that's why her as a
Yeah.
Hulk works so well, and that's why that's why transfusion of her blood into Hulk made him like restore his arm again.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen at all. I think
It
that's
could.
I don't think that would happen
No.
at all.
Who
That sounds
knows?
very out of left field. I don't
if-
buy it.
What if Bruce, when he was talking about the blood, they just did the like they did in Miss Marvel? How crazy would that be?
Would have been
I
too
don't know.
much. It worked
Yeah,
once.
it definitely
in
would
Miss
have been.
Marvel,
It would
yeah.
have been, but that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
also, I have one more thing before I continue. Before we continue, I also want to point out the fact that Bruce was very quick to destroy her blood. So
Sure.
Right. Yeah.
that's gotta happen to something, you know. That doesn't make any sense, but you get what I'm saying.
Okay.
I
Does it. Oh, sorry. Please
No,
go.
the thing that I just wanted to say earlier is that the courtroom sketches at the end for the end credit scene were dope. I really like that. That was cool. And the end credit scene was there.
Oh yeah. More on Captain America's virginity, but
Yes.
actually not virginity because Bruce confirms like no, he had sex.
Yeah,
This man f's
he does.
Yeah.
Captain
and
America.
a funny thing that you mentioned that because there's another thing that's been tied to our very best friend Chris Pratt's character, Star-Lord. There is a possibility that Steve Rogers could have had sexual relations with his grandmother.
Oh,
So
What?
Steve Rogers could be Star-Lord's
His grandmother.
Yeah, so the lady that everybody's been pointing at to like who Steve could have had sexual relations with is the girl at the bar in Captain America:
The
The
first
First
one.
Avenger. Yes,
yeah.
no, not the first one where he, not where he's scrawny Steve, but like where he's
Yeah, at the party.
yeah. The blonde lady that he's talking to is the same actress.
Natalie Dormer.
No, not Natalie Dormer. The blonde lady he's talking to is the same actress that played Star-Lord's mom.
No way. Oh my god.
Yeah,
That's funny.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well. Wow.
Star-Lord could have a little Steve Rogers in him.
Wow.
Don't we all want a little Steve Rogers in us?
I don't.
You know what I mean?
I
Anyway, final thoughts on She-Hulk before we close out, Roshan.
I'm excited to see where it goes. Hope, as you said, hope it sticks to landing. Yeah, I'm excited to see some more fourth wall breaks. Yeah, sign me up.
Also, I forgot to mention Tatiana Maslany just doing a
Hmm.
great job. She's a great actress.
Just kiss.
She has good chemistry with everybody so far.
Yeah.
Mickey, Bruce. Yeah.
Very,
good stuff.
very likable person. Ben, final thoughts?
I have Dan in the chat. One more thing to.
Oh, Dan's still here, huh?
Yes. Dan is still here. He says, I mean, Cap definitely at least got it on with Peggy when he went back, right? Yes, but they don't know that. Like, as far as they know, he's dead, you know? He went back in time and never came back.
Well, whatever. We already know that, like, he kissed his niece. You know.
True.
Captain America, real incestual.
Listen, man,
Those are dark times.
what are you going to do?
They're in the middle of a civil war.
And to be fair, if I remember correctly, it was her great niece. If I thought so. Could be wrong.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah,
I know it's neither here nor there, but like, you know. And also, like, she's a bad character in fucking in the Winter Soldier. So
anyway, that does it for episode 1 of She-Hulk, A Normal Amount of Rage. Let us know what you thought of the episode down below in the comments and or in chat and or on Twitter at the Penultimate Conquest. Actually, I don't know what is our Twitter?
Pen Conquest.
At Pen Conquest. Until next time, Excelsior. Oh, I forgot to do plugs, man.
Yeah, man. What the hell?
Oh.
We're still live, or did
Yeah,
we
we're
end?
still live. We're still live.
Ro, where can people find you?
You could find me on Twitter at RAUWRO or find us live at Podcast PXN every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, where we talk about video games. Me and Christian, Dan, and Gage.
Yeah.
Shame
Christian,
about Halo 3.
Shame.
What?
where can people find you?
Please follow me at ISO Christian to keep up with all the stuff I do online, like my movie podcast, which is recording a live episode this Friday. Podcast PXN, of course. And then looming on the horizon, Tech Raptor stuff. And tease that. Anyway, we'll see. And also video essays I do for this channel. Like my newest video I did, Solarpunk. A Solarpunk video that got over
Popping
1,000 views.
off.
Yes.
Yes.
1,000 views.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Yep.
A lot for me.
Lot.
Anyway, Ben,
Yes.
what about you? Where can people find you?
People can find me here the rest of this week. I am going to be streaming. I'm hopefully going to be streaming, guys. So we'll see. Some Cult of the Lamb this week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
gotta play that game.
These fucking cult members are driving me up the wall, bro. I just want to kill them all. But I know
Cult
I
of the
can't.
Mid? Anyway.
Whoa. Could be
Okay.
worse. It could be fucking Saints Row, you know.
Oh, right you are.
Yeah. With that being said, Christian.
Until
Excelsior.
next time, Excelsior.